Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Today's lesson is going to be about types of education. This is the theme of unit 1. So the whole unit evolves around education, the theme of education. So let's start. So what is education? Now we have education. So what do you think education is? Now try to pause the video and think of a personal definition that you can give to education. So when you hear education, what comes to your mind? Very nice. So education is a process. Okay? Education is a process of teaching and learning. Education is a process of teaching and learning. The teaching on the part of teachers and learning on the part of students. And education usually takes place at school, at a college, a university, and also at home, right? Or in the street. So you can say that education has to do with learning, تعلم, learning. So whenever you find yourself learning, that is education. So let's talk now about the words that are related to education. So when you hear the word education, what words come to your mind? What images come to your mind? Very nice. So the first thing that can come to anyone's mind is learning, of course. So learning, education has to do with learning, التعلم. Very nice. So learning has types. The first type is this type that we are doing right now. Now, what am I doing? I'm teaching you. Where are you right now? You are at home. And I am at my house. So, and we are trying to communicate and learn from each other. Okay? So, this is what we call distance learning. Distance learning. Very nice. Of course, when you learn on your own, by yourself, it is called what we call self-learning, because you learn by yourself, on your own, without the help of anyone. That's what we call self-learning. Learning also has to do with some other words, like for example, learning needs, حاجية التعلم, learning strategies, استراتيجيات التعلم, and learning goals, and the goals that you want to reach through these learning. Of course, in order to get the goals of learning, or the learning goals, you have to go through strategies, all right? Of course, when you hear education, there is the word studies, okay? And also the 4 skills, المهارات الأربع. Of course, the 4 skills are well known. The first one is listening. The second one, speaking, reading, and writing. Those are the 4 skills that any language has. You need, if you want to speak a language, of course you need to listen first and then try to speak and then learn how to read and learn how to write. Those are the 4 skills that every student need to learn. Next, we have school subjects. Of course, you know what school subjects are. Here we have just examples. We have maths, English, Arabic, other subject like I don't know, chemistry, history, geography, philosophy. All these are what we call school subjects. And then we have staff and students. So staff are the people who work in the school, okay? And students are students, so students go to school for learning. So they learn and they need, of course, teachers who are part of staff. The staff of the school. And then we have schools, and there are different types of schools. There is the first one, what we call public schools, and we have private schools. Public schools are sponsored by the government, so you don't have to pay anything. It's free. But private, you need to pay money. So your parent need to pay the school fee. So educational, this is an adjective. Sometimes we say educational system, educational background, educational goal. The educational system هي المنظومة التعليمية. The educational system that we have in Morocco. Okay, so how our things are organized in Morocco. Okay, in terms of education, of course. Educational background is what you have as what you have learned. When you say educational background, means all the learning that you went through, all the knowledge that you get from school is what we call educational background. For example, if you have studied science, math, and all that, so we can talk about scientific background. Anyways, educational goals are the goals that the educational system aim to. So they want to reach a goal or goals. For example, they want students to be able to speak English, to work out mathematic exercises, some specific mathematic exercises, to be knowledgeable about physics, to be fluent in French, to be also versed in Arabic, in all the school subjects. So they want this goal in the students. Okay, so that's what we call educational goals. And these goals are set by the government. So the government decides on these things. Literacy is the ability to read and write. Okay? And illiteracy is when you don't know how to read and write. So the adjectives we can say illiterate person is a person who can't read and write, and literate people are people who know how to read and write. Okay, so I think we are done with this. Let's move now to look at this picture. I want you to describe what you see in the picture. So here we have teacher, students, so they are learning. Where do you think they are learning? Where? Very good. So they are learning in a school. This is a classroom, and I guess it belongs to a public school. So if learning takes place in a public school or private school, it is formal education. So if learning is taking place in school, it is formal education, التربية النظامية. So it takes place in institution or school, and this institution can be governmental or it can be private, but as long as they follow the instructions of the government, it can be called formal education, like private schools in Morocco. Okay, they teach the same thing. So it is delivered by trained teachers. Of course, you need trained teachers in order to deliver the content. It is structured and systematic. When you say structured, it has a structure. We have preschool, primary school, middle school, high school, university. And systematic, which means it has a system. It is not random. ليست عشوائي. It is not a random thing. It's a systematic thing. Okay? The content is one in the whole region or country, and it is written to serve the educational goals of the state. So the content والمحتوى, the content is one in the whole region or country. So as you can see, what you study here in Fez is also studied somewhere else in Morocco. You go to the south of Morocco, you go to the north, you find Gateway. Okay? So the content is unified, is one through the whole country, and it is written, had the content is written to serve the educational goals. So the Ministry of Education or the state has educational goals, and it wants you to have certain qualities, certain standards at the end of your school, at the end of your education. Like, for example, having a diploma, certificate, but you need to have what the government wants you to have. That's what we mean by the educational goals. All right. So, in order for these educational goals to be achieved, attendance should be mandatory, which means you should be in school every day, and all the weekdays you've got to be in school. You have to attend school, you have to attend classes. You can't be absent because you are going to be punished for that. It's compulsory for students aged between 6 and 14, which means that it is obligatory. So for students or for children aged between 6 and 14. And also it is monetized by the government. Monetized means they pay for student, they pay for all stuff. So look at this picture here and this picture. Here we have a father talking to his kid, and the kid is listening, so the kid is learning something from his father. And also we have a girl here who is reading something from her book, which means that this girl is learning also, but learning here is taking place outside the school. So this kind of education is called informal education. So informal education is any learning that takes place outside school, such as reading a book, watching TV, reading a newspaper, discussing ideas with friends. It's a lifelong learning process. It's a lifelong learning. Any activity that you do, okay, like for example watching TV, watching learning videos on YouTube, this is what we call informal education. Now I want you to look at these two pictures. Here we have a picture. She's a mother, and she is maybe trying to fight illiteracy, تحارب الأمية. This is what we call adult evening classes, or literacy classes. And here we have, this is a conference, مؤتمر, conference, something like that. They are learning something, but this is not sponsored by the government or anything. Okay, this is what we call non-formal education. Non-formal education, التربية غير النظامية. Non-formal education. So non-formal education is also called community education, or second chance education. For this mother here is a second chance, فرصة تانية ديالها ديال التعلم. ولا adult education, it is organized by organizations, كتنظم من طرف منظمات, associations, جمعيات, and even the government. بعض المرات كتكون حتى الدولة مدخلة، مثلا في محاربة الأمية كتدخل الدولة in the form of training sessions، يعني في التدريبات، adult evening classes, fighting illiteracy، هذه محاربة الأمية، conferences، مؤتمرات. This form of education doesn't lead to accredited certification or diploma، يعني ما كتعطيش في التالي it doesn't lead to accredited، يعني اللي ما كتاخدش دبلومات اللي هي مصادق عليه من طرف الدولة. Alright, it's not like a formal education. Formal education, you get a baccalaureate certificate, or a BA or MA or a doctoral, but for non-formal education you don't get accredited certificate or certification or diploma. Very good. So thank you for your attention, and see you next time.